Hey everyone, we're going to get started. This is Give Live. Thanks so much for being here. This is Give Live. I'm Matt Cromwell. I'm head of support at givewp.com and wordimpress.com. Give is an online donation plugin for WordPress. Our goal is to democratize generosity. We do that by making online donation forms as elegant, flexible, and robust as possible, while still being very user-friendly. Unlike third-party platforms, we do not add any fees to your donations. We leave all of that up to you and your payment gateway of choice. That enables you to have lower fees, and that means more people and causes can be hosting high-quality donation forms on their websites, which to us is democratization. This is now our 12th Give Live webinar. Woohoo! In just these few episodes, we've already covered things from choosing your own payment gateway or managing custom form fields or preparing for Giving Tuesday. Giving Tuesday is still coming up. If you're not ready for it, go ahead and go back a couple months to our Giving Tuesday episode and check out our blog. We have lots of resources on getting ready for Giving Tuesday. So be prepared. The purpose of this monthly webinar, though, is to provide you, our Give users, with insights and ideas, tools, resources for doing online donations as effectively as possible. Next month, we're going to have a special guest with us. Many WordPress folks know him as JTrip or JJJ, John Jacoby. He will be joining us to talk about Give for developers. We'll cover the ways in which Give is built to be extended so freelancers and agencies can customize Give to whatever their clients need. JJJ is very well known within the WordPress space for his work on BuddyPress and BBPress, and he happens to also be a big fan of Give. So we're excited to have him with us. So that is next month on Wednesday, October 11th at 5 p.m. Pacific time. Mark your calendars, watch for our announcement on our blog about that. I'm cool to see some folks already on the chat. I see DeAndre here from the Lampkin Foundation. Thanks for being here. And Kevin Hoffman is one of our developers. He's here helping out as well, which is excellent. Today's talk is a little bit more development oriented, so he might be able to help chime in on things as well. And our talk today is on roles and capabilities, what they are, how Give handles them, and what you can do with them. That's what we're going to be talking about. Before we jump into that real quick, I want to give some just general Give news of things that are coming up on the pipeline. The first thing that we just released a couple weeks ago now is a new add-on called Gift Aid. If you're watching Give Live right now from the United Kingdom, which it would be, I don't know, probably 1 in the morning your time right now. So probably not any live viewers, but hopefully you're watching this on YouTube later. We just released an add-on for Gift Aid. Gift Aid is a great program in the UK that allows donors to be able to apply some of their tax money to nonprofit organizations. So basically they just check a checkbox on the form that says, I want to apply my Gift Aid to this organization. And there is some paperwork that happens between the donor and through the organization, and then the government basically gives money to that organization on behalf of that donor. It's a really interesting program, and it definitely increases donations to nonprofit organizations in the UK significantly, and we've been working on this for a while, wanting to make sure that we got it right, because we're not in the UK, we're a bunch of Americans, but we understand how important it is for folks in the UK. So if you are a Plus bundle or Pro bundle license holder and you're in the UK, download Gift Aid today. If you're not, buy Gift Aid today. You're going to benefit immediately. It basically will pay for itself in the ways that it can increase your donations by about 25%, basically. Another piece of big news is Give 2.0 is progressing really, really nicely. Last month on Give Live, we actually had Devin Walker here, our founder and lead developer, and he and I chatted the whole time about what is, hey, there's Devin right now. He's in the chat. Thanks for being here, Devin. he and I chatted a lot about Give 2.0 and what's coming up with it. It's something we've been working on for a really long time. There's a lot of really big things coming that we're excited about, and it's progressing really, really nicely. And so keep watching our blog. We do also have a developers blog now where we do talk about a lot of the features that we're applying to Give 2.0. So that's developers.givewp.com. So check that out if you'd like to get a little bit of an inside scoop into what's going on over there. And the last one I want to talk about, I want to announce really quickly, is we have also just barely scratched the surface of the beginnings of planning development for what will become our peer-to-peer add-on eventually. It's a big deal. It's something that is really, really complicated, but peer-to-peer fundraising is a very successful model for a lot of organizations, and we know how important it is for some folks, and we want to make sure that as all things that we do, we do it really, really awesomely. We do it really, really well, that it's full-featured, that it has everything you need, that we can continue to be your go-to online donation platform. And peer-to-peer, I think, is going to add a lot of great features that a lot of people are going to really enjoy. So that's the major stuff today. And so let's jump into our main subject. We're talking about roles and capabilities today. Like I said, basically going to do three things. We're going to talk about first, what are they, how Give handles them, and what can you do with them with Give. So first, what are roles and capabilities? WordPress has roles and capabilities as a core feature in it. It's one of the things that if you work with WordPress, it's something you work with every single day, even if you don't recognize it or realize it. Roles are things like admin. Every time you create an admin account, you're creating a user with a specific role. So admin, editor, subscriber, contributor, these types of things are all roles. So every time you go and create a new user, one of the things that it asks you right up front is what kind of role do you want to assign this user? Those are the roles, and that's a really obvious feature whenever you deal with users whatsoever. Oh, there's Bridget too. Hey, Bridget. Man, we got so much of our team here with us today. Thanks for being here, guys. So the roles we see, obviously, it's in the UI whenever you go to add new user. But hidden within the roles are also capabilities. Every role has different types of capabilities available to them in order to do certain things on your website. For example, when you create an admin, it basically gives the admin all the capabilities, all of them that are there. But the editor, for example, editor has a lot of capabilities, but it doesn't have the ability, for example, to update plugins or update themes. That's something that pretty much only an admin has or in multi-sites, there's also super admins. Those are only restricted to those roles, and that's a special kind of capability to update plugins or update themes, or to install plugins is another capability, to delete plugins is another capability. But another one that's very common is, for example, to read, basically to read anything, to read a post on your website. You can actually create a user role where they can't read anything. They just don't have the ability to read any of the published things. I'm not sure what the use case would be, but that is possible. But very often when you have somebody who you want to have as an author for your blog, you'll give them the ability to be a contributor. This allows them to be able to write blog posts, but maybe not publish them. And they're not going to see anything about your plugins. They're not going to see anything about your themes. That's because they don't have that capability. They have the capability to write a blog post and set it as pending or ready for review, but the only one who then could publish it is the one with the capability to do that, which is the editor or an admin. So that's the idea. Roles are the type of user, and the capabilities are the things that they're capable of doing, the things that allow them to do things on your website. That's the basic overview of what those are. How does this relate to Give, and specifically, what does Give do with roles with roles and capabilities, for example. So the first thing with roles is that Give out of the box adds some unique custom roles. There's 4 of them actually right out of the box. We make a Give manager, a Give accountant, a Give worker, and a Give donor. And our add-ons also allow us to add even more roles if needed. For example, in recurring donations, it adds another role called a Give subscriber. With Give, the free plugin, you're going to see 4 new roles available to you, and they each do different things based on their capabilities. Let's just jump into the capabilities because they will help to explain what the Give roles do. For example, some capabilities that we add is called View Give Reports. So you have in Give the ability to report basically on everything that that is happening with all of your donations across all your forms. You're able to export things, all that kind of stuff. Not all the Give custom roles are able to see the Give reports. For example, the Give donor. The Give donor is basically it's basically just like a subscriber, but you're going to assign it that role in order to indicate that that person, that user actually donated. And it's possible that you might have multiple roles. You might give them a normal subscriber role, but also the Give donor role. But that's not going to allow them to see your plugins or your themes or anything like that. It's not even going to allow them to submit posts. It just really gives them a role that you can identify them with, and they'll be able to log into your website, and you can create things that they can see, basically. And we're going to get into that in a little bit. Some other capabilities that we build in are like export Give reports or view Give sensitive data. That's a really important one because there is a lot of sensitive data when it comes to donations. There are people's names and email addresses and physical addresses. And their donor information, how much money they have donated to a cause, is a sensitive type of thing. But in general, hey, there's CC. Hey, CC, thanks for being here. Andre was starting to feel a little bit lonely. He thought it was only a bunch of Give staff folks who was here. So that's nice. If anybody else is here watching, I do see quite a few viewers at the moment, which is great. Please chime in. We'd love to chat with you in the chat box. If you're on our Give site and watching on the Give post, and you don't see any chat, then you might just refresh the page. Sometimes it gets stuck. If you're on YouTube, the chat is up in the, it should be right over here. So, or if you're on mobile, then it's down there. Cool. Yeah. I'm going to try hard to you guys should definitely chat and have fun, but I'm going to try hard to stay focused on my on my subject. So we're managing Give settings. Manage Give settings is another one. Oh, I was talking about view Give sensitive data. That one is basically allows people to be able to see the donor profiles, allows them to see the donations. That's where sensitive data generally is. Reports aren't necessarily very sensitive. It's really just about amount of donations that are coming through, and it doesn't really show the donor information directly. But the donor profiles is definitely sensitive information, and of course the list of donations themselves as well as sensitive information. So we use that view Give sensitive data capability to kind of be able to generally apply those to roles that are supposed to see that kind of information, like the Give accountant, for example. Manage Give settings is another one. Edit Give forms is similar to edit posts. Read private Give forms. If you ever set a Give form to private, that's a capability that we have. View Give form stats, and then edit Give payments. Edit Give payments, for example, is again having to do with sensitive data, and the ability to edit them definitely, messes with your accounting in one way or another. So you only want to give that ability to people who are authorized and knowledgeable on how to do those things. Andre has a question. He says, what type of user can see that data? Yeah, that's what we're getting into right now. So of course, admins can see all of that data. The Give accountant role has the ability to see the donors and to see the donations themselves. Um, the Give worker, I need to double check, but I do not believe the Give worker sees those things. The Give worker is able to see donation forms, is able to see donation stats. Um, but not to see the actual donations and donor profiles. Um, and Andre also asks, what role of user can see what donations are coming in? Yeah, that one is limited, like I said, to the Give accountant and the Give manager, and then of course to I believe the editor role. Actually, the WordPress core editor role is able to see that as well, because those are basically post types in many ways, and then also um, the admin, of course. So. But the other question is, when are donors actually WordPress users? That might seem like an obvious answer, but or obvious question, but it's not. Donors aren't always users because we have the ability to allow guest donations. If you've played with Give a bit, you know that on your form, there's a setting on each form that says enable guest donations. And that basically allows you to have donors donate directly on your website without having to log into your website. Of course, that's really, really important and significant. You don't want to require a login all the time, because that basically just slows down the donation process. What if they forgot their password and they can't find it, then they can't log in, and then they forget to donate later? There are reasons why sometimes you want to log in, force a login, but in general, to be able to donate as a guest is important. But when they actually become WordPress users that have these roles and have these capabilities is when you enable registration. When you enable registration during the donation process, what happens is they fill out some basic information at the very beginning of their donation, and when they finalize the donation, they get a registered account with your website. It doesn't require that they log in right there, but it creates that account at the point of donation. And that account, of course, is a core WordPress user account. So now, once that happens, you have a donation that was created and a donor profile in Give that you can see. And that donor profile is then attached physically to a WordPress profile as well. And that WordPress profile, user profile, allows them to then log into your websites. And depending on what you do with that user role that you've assigned them, it will they'll be able to do different things. So, and that begs the whole question of basically the third thing that we're going to talk about, which is what can you actually do with user roles and user capabilities with Give. And I wanted to go through that overview real quick in order to just kind of give everybody some context and frame of mind. And then I want to jump into this website that I've been working on locally in order to just show the overall things that you can do live, because I think for me that's always the best way to learn, really. So what can you do with these things? Well, let's switch it over. There we go. Is that an improvement for everybody? It looks a lot better on my end now. Yes, excellent. Great. So strange. Thanks for bearing with me. Okay, so yes, I love all the affirmations. Keep them coming. So just to highlight again super quick, the Give Donation plugin. This one I'm going to get to in a little bit. Members by Justin Tadlock, User Role Editor, and User Switching. So those are the major ones that I'm working with today. And let's start with basically what you could do with your donation forms. Here are my donation forms that I have here, and we actually have a new feature in Give that allows you to set the default user role that donors are assigned when they donate. So in order to get there, you're going to go to Give, and you're going to donations. You're going to go to Settings, and then you're going to go to the Advanced tab, and you can see it right here, Default User Role, and that by default is always set to Give Donor right now. But let's say for your whole entire site, you want all of your donors to have a specific user role. You can just change that right here to be whatever you like. It could be contributor, it could be subscriber, and you can see here that I have already added my own custom roles down here. So I'm going to just say level 1 donors. I did that. I added those custom roles with user role editor, and I'm going to get into that a little bit as well. So I just select that, and now I hit Save Changes. And now globally for all my forms, the default user role, if you enable registration on them, is going to be the level 1 donors. Now, the next plugin that I showed actually was this custom plugin, and this is something that we're most likely going to be building into Give later, but this is called Perform User Role Assigner. So what I wanted to do was, I don't want to just have user roles for globally for all my forms. I want to be able to set what user role gets assigned for each form. So you can see here, I'm going to have a level 1 donors form, a level 2 donors form, and a level 3 donors form. So let's go into that. When I install that plugin, I have a new tab in my form edit screen here called user role. I just click on that, and you can see here that it has a setting that looks just like our global setting that allows us to set the default user role here. And because this is my level 1 donors form, I'm going to keep that at level 1 donors. And if I go over instead to the level 2 donors, I go on the user role, then this one is set to level 2 donors. Yeah, thanks, Cece. She says it's a really cool feature. The chat section, actually in YouTube live, they don't save the chat session. So the viewers who view this YouTube thing later, they're not going to see all your nice comments. So I try to speak them out as they come along. So yeah, so level 2 donors. And now level 3 donors, if you noticed, I haven't created that level yet, that user role yet. So because I wanted to show you how that works exactly. Remember, I have user role editor installed. So I'm going to go over here, and I can go straight to user role editor, or I can say add new role. But let's go to user role editor. So I want to add right now a new role called level 3 donors. And what I like about user role editor is one nice feature that it has is you can basically duplicate a different role for your new role. So over here, I'm just going to hit add role, and I'm going to say level 3. Well, this is the ID. The first thing is the ID, which usually shouldn't have spaces. So I do level 3 donors, and then this is the display name. So I'm saying level 3 donors, and I'm going to just make a copy of the subscribers. And I click add role, and there we go. Now it's available. And that's really all it takes. If I wanted to add anything custom to this, any custom capabilities to this role, I can do that right here. Here's all the capabilities that are available to this whole website. And you can see there's lots of them, lots and lots of them. So that's all available. But in this case, what I'm going to do is I basically want to set that form now, level 3 donors. I'm going to go to edit. I'm going to hit user role, and now I can do level 3 donors as my default there. Okay, so Now we know that we can set different roles for different donation forms. That's great and all, but what do you actually do with those roles? So why would you want to create different roles for different donation forms? Well, a very, very common use case for setting different um, roles is basically for gating or protecting your content in different ways. And that's something that the members plugin that I showed you earlier, that's something that the members plugin actually does really, really well. So actually we have a question here. Let's see. Is there any way Give can add donations together from the same donor? Add donations together. So I can move someone to another level when someone donates, say, more than 1,000 this year. Let me see. Is there any way Give can add donations together from the same donor? Well, I'll say we do track all the donations that a donor makes. Oh, so you're saying, I see what you're saying. I think you're saying, so let's say I donated $500 and I'm level 1. But then once I hit that $1,000 level or $1,000 mark of donating $1,000, it automatically bumps me up to level 2. Not right now. That's not built in any way. We have talked about a type of Give members add-on of sorts that would do those types of things. You could definitely build that, develop that relatively easily. It wouldn't take all that much work to make that happen. You would have to be checking for the donor total, and when that total is reached, you basically just update that user role. So if you know of any skilled developers, it wouldn't be difficult to make that happen because all the logic is there and Give, but it's just a matter of designating exactly how you want to have that happen and then just creating the code for it, which I know I'm making it sound really simple. But yeah, it is, yeah, like Kevin is saying there, it's always possible to change the levels manually whenever you like. So, and then a follow-up question, how about if someone gives me more than $1,000 at one time? That's something also that with this per form user role assigner that I just built, that's something that I think I would like to see eventually in Give. Also, that's also not available right immediately. The one thing you could do is you could just create a form that has just $1,000 set donation, and that's what you can give at that form only, and then you assign that role for there. But the ability to basically do a Give multi-level form, you know how we have multi-levels in our Give forms, and then assign a different user role per level, like that would be I think an excellent feature. So these are all things that we're thinking about and talking about, and hopefully that you'll see eventually come out from us. But and that's part of why I wanted to do this Give Live today, honestly, was to be able to talk about some of these ideas and show you some of the stuff that we're working on, and to get this feedback. So yeah. Thank you. So that's basically how I've set up with these 3 different things. Now, if I'm going to go and view this site, right here, I just have I'm logged in as my admin account right now. It's just a really basic site, and I have my donation forms here. I have my level 1 donors is right here, and there you can see here it's set just to $50. This is what I was just talking about. You could set it just to $50, and you can't even customize it. That's the amount no matter what. I have my level 2 donors. Level 2 donors, they have to give $100. And then my level 3 donors, they have to give $250. And then over here, I actually have some content. So this is basically, because I'm an admin, it's set up right now that I can see it. But here is my category level 1. Now, if I go there, in an incognito window, we should see something different. Only visible to level 1 donors. And here we go. We see the image, we see the post available, but there's a message here that says, sorry, this content is only available to level 1 donors. And then there's a link, really handy little link, donate here to gain access now. And of course, that takes us to the level 1 donor. So let's just test it out. Let's become a level 1 donor real quick. I'm going to say, I'm going to be DeAndre. Um, and I'm going to donate right now. Here's my donation confirmation. I paid my $50 and it says level 1 donors. Let's see what happened. Content level 1. I think I'm not logged in yet. That's my issue. Oh, you know what? I haven't. What I didn't do, I didn't require registration. That's what I didn't do. So let's go over there. Require registration. Level 1 donors. Form display. Registration right there. Update. Now I can't. Yes, I can. I'm going to donate as DeAndre again. Because I'm requiring registration. I'm not requiring it. Actually, it's optional. This is the username and password is there and available. And what this will also do is after I donate, it's actually going to log me in as well. Oh, wonderful. I love it when that happens. I think this is because I donated with the same email address. One more time. Andre 2. There we go. Here I am again. Level 1, 50. And you know what? I can already tell that I'm logged in because you can see the admin bar up here, right? And here it is. Here's Andre Lampkin right up here. Now I should be logged in, and we can even double check. Let's go to edit my profile. And we can see right here. Oh, actually, it doesn't show when you're. It'll show for the admin. It won't show for yourself. You actually don't see your own user role when you're logged in. That's okay. So let's just go over and check with the content. Oh, look at this! I can see all the content now. Now I'm a happy donor. I just donated my $50, and I immediately get to see the content that I wanted to see. Woohoo! Questions. I see some questions. Let's see. Are there plans to gather information about donors from places like Facebook so we can decide how to interact with them? As far as we have seen so far, we've dug into it a few times. Facebook has not opened up an API for their donation gathering so far. It doesn't look like they have any plans to do that either. But the ability for you to, for example, there are lots of WordPress plugins that allow you to do social login. For example, that basically when they register for your website, they register or log in via a social channel like Facebook, rather than filling out all of that information. So those plugins, there's lots of different kinds of them, and they do different things, but they could enable you to collect some additional data on the user profile. And once that information is there in your site, you can do lots of different things with it. But yeah. Yeah, you would. DeAndre is saying that he would love to be able to have them could log in with Facebook and be able to see like their date of birth, for example. They wouldn't even have to enter that information. They just would be logging in with Facebook, and then you would have access to that data. Of course, they're opting in to sharing that data with you because they're logging in with their social profile account. So Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. It's a little bit different scenario than what we're talking about here, but it's related though for sure. So that just highlights that whole thing. So let's see real quick exactly how I made that happen. So as we saw, we did a level 1 donor. We went to the level 1 donation, and we did a level 1. But if we go to level 2, for example, this content is not available. Oh, I forgot to update that one. But it still says it's not available, but it does take us to the level 2 form. So if DeAndre wanted, he could also donate here and also get access there. But let's go over and show you how I gated that content, basically. So I have these posts over here, and here they are. And this one right here says only visible to level 1 donors. So I'm going to click edit, and here's all my content. I added it to a level 1 category. And then what the members plugin does, which is really excellent, is it adds this meta box here at the bottom of every post and page, and even give form that you have on your site. And here you basically just get to check a box. I want this to only be visible to level 1 donors. Now, of course, you could also say administrators is default, actually. Administrators can always see it. But currently, I don't believe even an editor can. So, and then when they're not one of these roles, you want to show a message. Sorry, excuse me. And that's what I wrote in right here. This content is only available to level 1 donors. And then here's the link to donate now. Really straightforward, really simple. A great way to just protect access to your content and basically to get donations for your content. This could be really useful for nonprofit organizations that want to share specific information only with donors, which is like, for example, annual reports. Those really should be, relatively transparent, and you'd be able to share that only with your donors. So, for example, like I said, we have the give donor role. If every single donor has the give donor role, you can restrict access to only show that to give donors. So I see a new person here. Great, Donald. He says with these different levels, if I donate as a level 2, do I get access to level 1 and 2, but not 3? If I donate as a level 3 donor, do I get access to level 1, 2, 3? Well, what I did on this one right now is just one at a time. So this one is the level 1, but if I wanted to have both of them possible, then I can go to the level 2 one. Well, actually, no, what you're saying is the other way around. This is level 1. I want this one to be available to all 3 of those levels, level 1, level 2, and level 3. So I'm just going to update that. And then level 2 is going to be available to level 2 and level 3. You could do it just like that. Basically, you would be applying multiple roles to be able to access those things. I'm going to go to all posts, and then the level 3 one is actually, I created that role just a minute ago, but I didn't assign it over here. So that right now wasn't assigned. We go level 3 donors. This is only for level 3 donors. Please donate here to access. And I can just select that. This is a great feature of WordPress I really like, is this being able to search for content for your link. You can see right here, that's the form. So now this one is only available to level 3 donors. So we just stack them up. Why don't we just test that real quick just to see. We'll go to level 3 donation forms, and I'll go to incognito mode. Yep, multiple levels, exactly. So this is a level 3 donor. Oh, maybe you were thinking level 1 is like the best, the top, and level 3 is the bottom. Yeah. either way. So I was thinking level 3 is like more advanced, but so they're going to give $250. Oh, we need to make sure it's not to Andre. So go to level 3. Oops, that's the content. Level 3 donation form. And we're going to go Donald. Sample.com. Oh, I don't have the registration enabled. There you go. Going back in. Edit donation form. Level 3 donors. Go to form display. Registration. All right. One more time. Now it's there. Donald. Will donate. Okay, there's our receipt, 250. He's a level 3. So let's go to content. We'll double check the level 3. Premium content for level 3 donors only. There it is. He gets to see everything. And does he get to see level 2? There's level 2. He gets to see that too because he's privileged. Level 1. All the above. Excellent. So much great conversation happening. Let's see. Andre asked, and just to confirm, we have to assign donors to user roles, and they will have to log into WordPress to see this info. Yes, that's correct. And in order to protect content, the only way to really protect it is with a login. You can't really protect it by just general users. Donald says perfect. Yes, thank you. Glad to help. Yeah, protecting content really requires a user level in one way or another. There is the ability in WordPress to simply password protect pages. And some people have done that where they basically just put a password, let's say a level 1 password and a level 2 password and a level 3 password. And then they just share that with those donors directly. Then everyone uses the same password to access those pages whenever they like. That's a really simple, basic way to go about protecting content. It's definitely not very automated because you have to share that. And then at any time that you change that password, you need to inform all those donors again. So it's definitely limited, but it is, that is built into WordPress core. You don't need any plugins for that. You could password protect all you like. But generally speaking, I find this to be the much more robust and reliable way to do that kind of work. So great. So that's the basic overview. Again, I'll just review again super quick the plugins that I was using. So just so you can remember, I'll update our post on our Give Live blog with this as well. But of course, it's the Give donation plugin. Oh, this one, the Perform user role assigner, the one I just built the other day. I'll update it, but it's on GitHub. It's right here. If you're not familiar with GitHub, it's a lot like the WordPress.org plugin directory where you have code that you can download and do what you want with it. When you want to download something from GitHub, you're going to go over here to clone or download and hit the download zip button. That's the best way to do it. I see another comment. It's not maybe for this webinar, but how do I customize the form fields in the donation form? They all have the same line width for me. Yeah, definitely reach out to us via support for that. The WordPress.org support is great. WordPress.org /plugin/give, and then click on support. And I actually answer the majority of those questions. So happy to help you over there with that. Because typically I'll need to see the form in order to help the best. And that's that plugin. And then the members plugin, which is by Justin Tadlock. If you go to the WordPress.org plugin directory, this is what it looks like. Really just basic graphic. And remember, it's by Justin Tadlock. And user role editor. like I say, this for me is indispensable. I'm not sure why they have the theater masks, but whatever. It works really, really great. Does what we need it to do. And then user switching, I didn't actually highlight this, but this is an easy way. I'll show you super quick that you can switch between different users. So here's our level 1 user, level 3, level 2. If I wanted to see the website as the level 2 donor, I could just hit switch to, and then it'll show me what I can see there. And you'll see that with level 2, I can of course see the level 1 because we just changed that up, and I can see the level 2, and that's all fine, but I'm not going to be able to see the level 3. Here's my sorry message right there. So, and then when I want to switch back, that's done right here. Switch back to give members, or I think they also often put it at the very bottom of the page. But this is the most reliable place to switch back. So now I'm back to my normal admin account. I'll put the GitHub in the URL and put it there right now. Good request. There's the GitHub URL for that user role assigner. That one, again, remember, we do have the global give user role setting that's in Give Core today. You can do that already, but that little plugin allows you to set the user role per form, which is kind of the magic of what happens with this whole setup that we showed today. Also, just keep in mind that there's lots of things you could do with user role editor in order to set different capabilities for all these different user roles. It's really powerful, and it's definitely a good way if you have a more complex organization that has lots of different staff, and you only want certain staff to see it. Then that's a good way to control those things. So. Yeah, excellent. Let's see, I have a couple questions and I'm going to wrap it up here. Donald's asking how Give 2.0 is coming. Donald must have come a little bit late because I talked about that at the very beginning. Let me just stop screen sharing actually. Yeah, Give 2.0 is coming along really, really well. The best place to see updates is actually also on GitHub. And I'm going to share my screen again, but I'll do that some other time. If you go to GitHub, we have... I'll share the link with you. If we organized everything by milestones, and so you can see the Give 2.0 milestone and how far along it's coming. Right now, there are a total of 38 issues, and 16 of them are closed. That doesn't mean a whole lot in terms of release date or timeline. That just means that that's where we are. Some issues are done in 5 minutes, and some of them are done in 5 days. But you could definitely track how it's coming along. Once you see that we're down close to 5 open issues instead of 22, then you know that it's coming pretty soon. Of course, after all of those are wrapped up, we do a lot of testing and user testing and all kinds of stuff to make sure it doesn't break anything. But that's the best place to track progress. There's also our developers blog, where we do announcements about things that we're doing with Give that we're excited about. You could definitely check that out. That's developers.givewp.com. And if you have any questions at all about any of these things, definitely reach out to us. The best way to reach out to us if you have support questions, free support questions, is the WordPress.org plugin directory. Like I said, I am there every day answering questions all the time. If you have general questions about anything related to our company, about our products, or anything, reach out to us via our contact form. That's givewp.com/contact us. No worries, Donald. I gave him a hard time, and now he's sorry. Don't worry about it. I like giving people a hard time. That's my comedian language. So reach out to us via our contact form. We're very responsive all the time. We're trying to push stuff out on social media all the time, Facebook and Twitter. We're very active on both of those channels. And if you have any suggestions or ideas for things that you'd love to see me cover on Give Live, I'm very, very open to it. I'd love to hear what you have to say. and what ideas you have. So hit us up via our contact form for that, or just ping me on Twitter or Facebook, and we'll get it into the queue. Everybody, thank you so much for being here today. Thanks so much for being such a interactive crowd. I always appreciate that. It makes this Give Live much more live than just a YouTube channel. So I appreciate that. I hope you learned something. I hope to see some sites doing some awesome things with user roles within the next bit of time. By tomorrow? Probably not. Next couple months. Anyway, appreciate your time, guys. Thanks for being here, and we'll see you next month. Thanks so much.